Mic is off. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Did I? Oh, I have my phone. I like to check to make sure the audio is on. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Gym Nation. Y'all know I got 5011 jobs now, and plus I'm trying to get all my doctor's appointments done before the end of the year. So I had a consultation this morning. I have blood work that I have to get done this afternoon. Well, I could just walk in. I don't have an appointment. I just get there when I get there. And I should have went super early, like 7:30, and then I'd be done. But it was so cold. It's too cold in New York. I am ready to go back to Mexico or any place warm, Barbados, wherever. So let me just check my audio. Give me un momento, por favor. And there is so much news going on, guys. Listen, I don't even know what to share, what not to share, but I am happy at the space that we are. Perfect, perfect. Okay, it's audio's working perfect. Child, it is so much happening in this country. Whew, tomorrow's going to be a doozy. Tomorrow's going to be a doozy. Unfortunately, I do have to do tomorrow morning because I forgot. A friend of mine's birthday brunch lunch is tomorrow, and so yeah, I just don't want to risk not being able to make it back for a live tomorrow. And then I'll probably, since I have to travel, I'll probably hang around in that area. So long story short, we'll be live tomorrow starting at about 8:50. That gives us an hour and 10 minutes to get through the topic. I know that's kind of early, especially for the people on the West Coast, but go ahead and watch the replay when you get a chance. So tomorrow we'll be live like about 8:50. It may say 8:45, but I'm just going to say 8:50 because I'll be wrapping up another call. So let's see who is in the building right now. Crystal Flame is numero uno. Hey, Crystal. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. Hey, Moni, welcome. LaRonda is in the building. Oh, look at all my gemstones. This is beautiful. Hey, Cynthia. Welcome back, Miss ATL. I always like to know, because I haven't checked to see the South weather today. Usually I do because my older brother lives in the South, and so we just have like banter back and forth about, he'll brag about how warm it is. And so when it's cold days, I like to get at him. So he's in South Carolina though, near Myrtle Beach. Who else? Is anybody else that I'm missing? Hey, Casper 330. What's up, cousin Casper? Moni speaking Espanol as well. Lo siento. That's one of the key phrases if you go like "adonde el baño," like certain phrases you need to know if you go to a Spanish-speaking country, because you don't want to get caught out there. If you offend somebody, if you hurt somebody, lo siento. If you need to go to the bathroom, "adonde el baño," right? So there's certain phrases that you just have to prepare for. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie, what's up? Welcome back. Thanks for the questions last night for Sonia Unapologetic. Hey, CA Cruz. You tiptoed out the other day. I was asking for you so I could walk you through the answer to your question, which was about work permits. And you had tiptoed out, girl. Hey, Avis, welcome. Is this your first time? Well, if it is, welcome to Gym Nation. Oh, girl, that's part of the news stories. Like, listen, I haven't personally seen them, but that's also because I don't need to look up. What was that movie? Don't Look Up? I'm good. I don't need to see them. I see enough reports about them. But no, they are New York, New Jersey, and all parts of New York. So Staten Island, Queens, the Bronx, New Jersey, parts of New Jersey that are, close to New York. They're all over. And I think during Wednesday's community chat, someone had brought that up and was like, it's basically he's saying it's the end of the world. Listen, we just gonna stay hyper focused, keep it pushing till whatever happens. It is quite strange though, right? The timing is also quite strange, and as sophisticated as our national defense arm of the government is, for no one to be able to provide accurate responses or quell people's fears, like, child, we'll get 54. Okay, that's like shoot, summertime, because right now it is 30 degrees here, and it was with the wind yesterday. I had to get my eyes checked yesterday, and it was so windy. Oh, that's my Amazon package. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I was muted. So I was just saying, I don't know what part of the Stay Ready package that is, but just like I am sharing with y'all these resources, I am ordering them as well. And so um I forgot what I was saying before. The Amazon person almost knocked my door off. But anyway, 54, that's great. Oh, it was cold yesterday. It was super windy. Um So let me see. We're gonna get into it in 1 second. Oh, lo siento. Oh, de nada, de nada. Thank you. I realized that after the fact. Thank you, Crystal. Okay. So for those of you who were able to attend last night's live Q&A and session with Sonia Unapologetic, thank you for joining. She's just such a good person. When I tell you, as much as I talk about the not so good, and I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I also want to share the good in the travel. When you meet people like Sonia, your entire experience can be blissful. But you will meet others. So, like I talked about the scammers, right? I talked about the people who bring their trauma with them and then try to inject it onto the new environment. And so I talked about that, but when I tell you, Sonia was such a force of positive energy for everyone in our community while we were there. And so you can also catch she's been interviewed before multiple times. I think Rashida, I think other people, I don't want to mix because I always mix up if they're on the Exodus Summit page or Rashida's page or Stephanie's page. But anyway, she's been interviewed a few times. She's not as active on her YouTube channel right now. Her focus is filmmaking right now. But like I said, she has some really cute, really funny short films on her page at Sonia Unapologetic. And so if you get a chance, support that, check her out. And so, oh, and also, like I said, when I talk about the not so good, right? So we had a two-part series about you about to lose your job, right? That was the two-part series about the Black jobs that are expected to disappear in 2025, which mostly related to DEI, affirmative action, federal government things like that. I I wanted to come back today and share that, it ain't all bad news, right? It ain't all bad news. If you stay ready, so you don't have to get ready, then you'll be good. And so today we're going to touch on that topic. Before we do that, I ask you, there's 19 people in here right now. Do me a favor, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm push it out to more people. Again, you can't even see my likes. I have those hidden. I believe people get caught up in that and vanity metrics and all of that. And someone who studied marketing and has spent many years in marketing, it does more disservice than service. But I will say it does help YouTube say, okay, people are liking this. Let me find more people who may like this, right? So, anyway, let me get to my notes and then we'll get into today's topic. Do me a favor, let me know if you have any good plans this weekend. What are your plans for this weekend? And do they include any of the stay ready so you don't have to get ready strategies? I know for me, tomorrow starts, y'all know I like 28-day challenges and break them down into 7 days. Tomorrow starts a 7-day quick purge, meaning every room in this apartment will be addressed, and each room over the next 7 days, I will be tossing away stuff quickly. Like, it will not be, "Oh, I'm gonna donate this, I'm gonna do that." Nope, because you know how it is. We keep bags of donations in our car for a year and never listen, I still have 2 bags, big bags that should have been donated already. I am going to just dump them in one of those, clothing dumpsters or whatever. Yeah. I had a whole strategy to where to deliver it to. It became cumbersome. The people aren't there. Uh, you show up, they're not there during hours that they're supposed to be there. And so I can't do it anymore. So we're doing a 7-day quick purge. And then the rest of the year will just be tidying. Like I can't I can't focus on more than 7 days at a time. So let me know what you have planned to do this weekend. Hope it's something good. It's going to be blistery cold here again this weekend. And so, not looking forward to that. Um, yeah, so I'm pulling up the list of jobs. Give me 1 second. And make sure you come back tomorrow because we'll be talking about Black people. We about to experience some bumpy roads. There's been some conversations that have been happening. Stephen Miller just literally came out and made it clear that it is not just the Latinos, as I have been shouting from the rafters. Oh no, they're doing a mass deportation to include basically all Black and brown people, African countries, Muslim countries, um, Central South American countries. So basically, if you fit the profile aesthetically that you can be confused with another demographic, a demographic that they may be targeting, get your papers in order, please, 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 because that was the conversation. Get your paperwork in order because we very well may be getting back to the days of show me your papers. And you don't want to have to then start, oh, I don't have them. I need to order them while you're in handcuffs being taken to a detention center. And so this was a recent conversation. I want to say yesterday, it was this week that Stephen Miller, and I'll play it tomorrow during our live, that Stephen Miller had with, what's her name, Laura Ingle or something like that, about the strategy for the first 180 days. Well, technically from day one is what he said. And it did not just say Mexicans. He did not just say Mexicans. And so, child, we have to stay ready so we don't have to get ready because it's going to be ugly. And two other news stories, well, it's kind of the same. Did you see how much Mr. Bezos and Mr. Zuckerberg donated to the inauguration fund 1 million each, $1 million each, which is unprecedented. Unprecedented. And did I, unprecedented. um, Listen, we are in some serious times, y'all, but we need to stay ahead of the curve. And we're not even talking about the drones, right? Because that's an unknown. Right now, we're just talking about the known things that are being uttered, being spoken, and what's happening. And so, whoo, child, we need to stay ready. That's all I'm gonna say. So, okay. So let me just see where I want to start with this. So basically, if you've already gotten I have so many resources, so I don't want to mix them up. The certificate, the Stay Ready certificate um, resource page with the clickable links. If you've already gotten that, stay tuned because today, everything that I'm going over right now will be uploaded. Actually, after this session, I wanted to do it before, but the call I was on went a little over. So after this session, I am going to update what I am talking about right now to the Stay Ready um, certificate resource guide. And let me just get the exact name of it. Hold on, because I don't want you getting the wrong thing if you decide to get it. Okay, so it's called the Stay Ready Certification Resource Guide with links, which is under $7 right now through the rest of the year. This guide will be updated at least monthly. At least monthly. You're getting another update today. So when um, if I do a live and it's relevant to this information, then I will update based on the information that has been updated. So like a new list of future-proof jobs has come out. So I'm going to, and I do air quotes because listen, we don't know until we know. So this is going to be updated as soon as this live is over, before I had to go get my blood work done. And then if you didn't get it and you want it, the link is in the description. Just let me quickly go over the other resources since I'm on this page. There's also a resource guide for anyone who is, it's called the Resource and Armor for Black Women and who are functioning, excuse me, the Resource and Armor for Black Women in High Functioning Depression. You can go onto the Beacon site and see what that is. There's also another resource guide that says Stay Woke. And it's Project 2025 for beginners. Some of these are free resources. So the one I just mentioned, that's free resource. The Stay Woke Project 2025 for beginners, a free resource. Then there's the Plan, Then Produce 28-day challenge workbook, accountability workbook, and that's what I use. And we're also launching another 28-day challenge group session on the December 30th, I think it is. All of this is in the link below. I mean, in the description below. There's also the Guide to Mexican Residency with clickable links. It lists all of the consulates in the US with clickable links. You could go directly to the site and more. You can read more about that. There's also the 100 Plus website with clickable links to help you plan to move abroad with ease. And it includes the countries, 8 top countries where Black Americans are moving to: Canada, Costa Rica, Kenya, Mexico, Panama, Portugal, South Africa, and another one. And I don't want to waste time trying to find it. I don't know what that's cut off, but it's 8 of the top. Oh, here it is. Sorry. And the United Kingdom, the UK. So that's on the Beacon site as well. And then the 300 Things Manifestation Journal and Tracker. What I'm thinking about doing, and I'll talk more about it probably tomorrow, is launching at the very first of the year a group of people who are interested in this 300 Things Manifestation Journal and Tracker to keep you thinking bigger, understanding that anything you want to achieve is out there for the taking. And all you have to do is do the work, right? Plan, then execute. And so anyone who gets this journal will be invited to be part of the live 1 week session so that we fill out those 300 things. Because what I have found is even when I gift this to people, everyone I talk to, "Oh, I could only get to 75 things," or, "Oh, I could only get the 100 things." No, 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 we're getting to the 300 things in 1 week as a collective. Okay, so those are the resources. Now let's get into the jobs, which is what I know you're here for. And then if you have a question, put QQQ or the question mark in front of it, and I will get to the questions in a minute. This isn't gonna be a long, like, I'm not gonna draw out I think it's 11 areas and industries that we should be looking at to stay competitive, even if you have a job right now. That's why that I put that certification video up. You don't have to buy the resource guide with clickable links. You could go look at that video, which was the second of the two you about to lose your job videos, and screenshot and put the information in yourself. But if you want the easy access clickable links, the future updates, then it's right now under $7 through the rest of the year. So let's just get into it. We're titling this Future Proof Industries That Could Thrive Under This Next Administration's Economic Policies and Political Priorities, right? There are no guarantees with this, but, and however, based on the the last time he was in office, based on his current picks, these are areas that we can really focus on, right? To possibly be future proof, right? And then future proof to the point where it's not really going to matter as much your skin color, it's going to matter your capabilities, your certifications, your experience, right? Those are going to take precedence over if you're getting hired because of a quota. If you know these things, then you know these things, and people need people who know these things. And so let's get into the first one. Where do I want to start? I'll just go down the list. It's not in alphabetical order. I should have put it in alphabetical order, but we'll get the first one out the way. Entrepreneurship. That's going to be easy breezy. The new administration is all about business ownership. Yes, mostly talking about the billionaires, as we have seen, right? Just based on the picks, just based on who's donating to his inauguration fund. But even though there may be some hiccups for small businesses, overall, if you have the right concept, if you have the right business plan, and if you are committed, now I'm not talking like, okay, I'm going to be a nanny, and I'm not knocking these jobs, right? I'm talking about if you can think about the future and how you can utilize those skills based on what's happening. And when I say the future, I mean kind of like now to the future, everything. And we'll get into these other areas later. So as I go through these other areas, the reason I started with entrepreneurship, as I go through these other areas, keep entrepreneurship in the back of your mind and see if you are interested in any of these areas and how you can make yourself more marketable through certifications, through education, whatever. And so entrepreneurship is the first area out of 11 that we're going to talk about. Then we're going into technology and cybersecurity. When I tell you the way the job market is going to be in these areas, child, I'm not even trying to get a full-time job in this area. But guess what I am going to do? I am going to get certified just so I can understand what's going on. And there are so many low cost and free resources to do that. And so again, you can look at the resource guide that did I put the link in? If it's not in this video, it's in my prior videos, the one before this. So go ahead and check that out. I might not have. Um, yeah, I didn't add a description. You know what? I'm going to do that right now, just in case, to make it easier for people. But as I'm talking it through, listen, you can get certified low to no cost. And we just had a big whose cell phone was affected by the um the outing that they're blaming, China for. There was just a cyber hack that just happened this week. And so cybersecurity is going to definitely be an area where we need to prioritize, and technology, meaning like coding and stuff like that. And I'll read more about that in a second. But yeah, this is going to be an area where we need to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Um, Hold on a second. I'm just pressing copy and then paste. And then you can access it easily. Is anybody in IT? Who's in IT? There's somebody who is in IT, but she hasn't been here the past couple of days. Oh my goodness, my hitter. I can't remember when was the last time she was here. Anyway, so IT cybersecurity. And given the ongoing importance of digital transformation, cybersecurity and software development will continue to be in high demand. Grump's administration stance on technological innovation, combined with an increasing focus on data privacy, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing, could fuel growth in these areas. Jobs in ethical hacking, cloud architecture, data analysis, and AI development are all key opportunities to explore. We see who the co-president is, right? Every business model that man has is based on technology. And so follow the money, right? Follow what the people who are making tons of money, the industries that are making tons of money. Listen, we have Bitcoin, a coin you cannot see, a online coin which is housed in a wallet that you cannot touch, just hit over 100,000 mark. I remember in 2015 when I had this, what I would he was off a little, like wonky, I would say, trying to sell me coins, these coins called Bitcoin, for basically telling, he wasn't trying to sell me, but trying to show me how I could create a wallet, buy this fictitious coin, and it was at the low of $200. This was in 2015. Here we are in 2024, less than 10 years later, that fake coin that I thought that man was crazy to try to sell me back then is over 100,000. This is what I mean by technology and cybersecurity. If you follow the stock market, the companies like NVIDIA and the companies that are prioritizing technology and what do you call it? Where you house data, like semiconductor chips. These companies are making money hand over fist, and people who have invested in them are making money hand over fist. So follow the money. With the increasing number of cyber threats and the importance of data protection in industries like finance, healthcare, cybersecurity will remain a critical job field for job creation. You can get certified in these areas for next to nothing. Now, there are more advanced courses. If you want to do university training, if you want to do like MIT training, yeah, that may cost you a little more. But there are opportunities through the platforms that we went over last week and the ones that are available in the resource guide for you to get training. Renewable energy and sustainability. So even though at one time Grump was talking about, oh, no electric cars and this and that, we see who his co-president is. We see that he's kind of taken a shift, for those who are following. the words that are coming out of his mouth. But you don't even have to follow the words, just follow the actions. The richest man in the world, more often than not, because it can fluctuate. But right now, right, the richest man in the world is the co-president who has the biggest EV company in the US, also solar panels. Did you know Tesla is a solar panel company as well? Renewable energy sustainability will be paramount as part of his fraction of the government, the Doge faction of the government. So follow the leader, basically. And so even though Grump has had more focus on traditional energy sources like coal and oil, those will thrive as well. There has also been support of renewable energy, especially solar and wind. Again, you have the co-president about to profit heavily off of the solar and EV companies that he owns. Like you think he's going to speak out against that? I'm getting emotional because I really want y'all to understand that now is the time. You can get certified in 1 month, 3 months. Like do it now before these companies start raising prices, before the competition gets, too great. And even if you are employed and you think you will be there for a while, this is a stay ready movement. This is not a wait till something happens movement. This is a stay ready, okay? And so roles in solar energy installation, turbine maintenance, and green building technology are currently in demand. These jobs are likely to grow as businesses and governments continue to invest in sustainable energy infrastructure. So again, just follow the leaders, right? Look who the billionaires are that he has in place. Understand, and that's going to be one of next week. We're going to do a breakdown of the companies that these people own that are picks for his cabinet. Now, they haven't been confirmed yet, right? The confirmation still needs to happen, but there's some executive orders that will help push some of these people through. You need to know where their money is invested, what keeps them at the billionaire status, so you know what areas are going to be of importance. And what there was a quote, not a quote, Grump just posted something, was it today, yesterday, the day before? Anyone who donates $1 billion to his, not campaign, his administration, fast track, no red tape. They will get sign off immediately, basically on whatever the heck they want. And so we need to know what companies. And so since I am an investor, since I do have an investment community, I study these things. The Magnificent Seven, which is the top seven companies, that the biggest seven companies that people are looking at. It used to be called, it was an acronym for so it was Facebook. Oh shoot, Facebook, but it's not Facebook. FANG. It used to be FANG, and then it turned into FANG T. So it was Facebook, Apple. It was another A, Amazon, Nvidia, G, Google, and then they added a T for Tesla. It used to be those were the companies that made the market move, so to speak. Now it's the Magnificent Seven, which have been market movers, makes the market move. And we're going to go over those as well at a later date, because those are important. And so rather you're investing, or rather you're interested in investing or not, which everyone should be, this is what makes the country, right? This is the capitalization of what's making America. And so we'll go over that as well. So we're only at number 3. So I'm not going to do deep dives anymore. First, I'm going to just go through the list, and then I'll come back and go through exactly the areas that are going to be affected, break down how these areas will be impacted. So number 3 is healthcare and biotechnology. If you don't know about biotechnology, we should. I don't know how many of you, if you're a woman, when you went for your mammogram last, did they ask you if you wanted an AI exam as well, an AI readout, basically? I forgot the technical term of it, but that's biotechnology. The robotic surgeries that are happening, biotechnology. So areas in healthcare and biotechnology, and I'll break down what those are in a second, should be areas that we're looking at. Again, it's not all bad news. We just need to know where we should be focusing our efforts, right? And so I want us to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Skilled trades is another area. Um, Infrastructure, which is closely aligned to skilled trades, but also there's a privatization, right? There's also corporate jobs that you can look at for infrastructure, but skilled trades, so we know what those are. Infrastructure is number 5. Number 6, law enforcement. Number 7, which is close to law enforcement, but public safety. And we know about the blue lives. Excuse me, I thought I had to sneeze. We know about the blue lives mattering, right? But in addition to just being an officer, there are so many other areas that you can concentrate in when it comes to law enforcement. Public safety, they're talking about how, listen, if you live in any place that has been a sanctuary city and has had an influx of immigrants come, especially from the southern border, they're positioning and plaguing or positioning these immigrants as all bad. And law enforcement is going to continue to propagize that. Is that a word? Propaganda, right? Propagize that. So yeah, law enforcement is going to get, that whole defund. Well, they're going to refund all of the monies that they lost. It's just going to be an area of focus for this administration. And so pay attention. Public safety as well. Then agriculture and food security. And that could look very different depending upon who donates $1 billion to this man, right? But it's still going to be an area of opportunity for people who are looking for jobs or may need a jobs. And these, again, are not race-based jobs. We're not talking about getting in through affirmative action. We're talking about getting in through qualifications and certifications and experience. Transportation and logistics. And we'll get deeper into that in a second. Number 10 is financial services. And number 11 is education and training. And so let me see exactly who's in here, if there's any questions, and then we'll get to yes, DL Ross. Where is my girl? Makes me concerned. I know her mom. Yeah, I'm worried because she was here and she'd be first a lot. Okay, QQQ. I know you're a notary. Are you a signing agent as well? Non-practicing, but I did get all my certifications for signing agency. And my background check, actually, I have to renew that. My background check ends like the end of this month or the 30th, somewhere around there. But yes, but I don't practice signing, loan signing. I literally just did that because when the world was shut down, I'm one of those people, I'm going to stay ready. I did everything. I'm certified through the wazoo based on the world being shut down because everything was being offered online. And so I just took advantage of that. Hey, Efrey, good to see you. Okay, let's see. I watched an interview on her channel with 2 men and 2 women that was so interesting. I'm not I forgot what I said and which interview that was. Yes, purging is necessary, and it's also cultural, like, in my family, before New Year's, your house was spotless, right? But this year, um, I literally am not going to I'm doing this year was my intention and accountability year, right? Forget my intention is to purge, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. Everything else I can't be bothered with. I don't want to throw things away if someone can use them, but the intention is to purge, and that is my primary intention. And listen, I'll hold it for 2 seconds, make a decision, in or out, goodbye. And I don't care how much I paid for it. Like all of those things were blocking me from being as effective in purging as I should have been. So it's going to be a 7-day strategy. Um, let's see. Forget moving to another country. You need listen. Yeah, I put that on my one of my personal social media pages. I was like, the way the humans are acting, like I think I'd rather chill with the aliens. Like me and the aliens could probably have a good time. Like you are so right with that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get just a little bit more into detail about those sectors that I left off on. Again, I wanted to run through it because we're already at 46 minutes. Well, no, we started a little late. So we're at 42 minutes. But I definitely wanted people to know those sectors. If you need to do your own due diligence, fine. If you need assistance, you could either watch the part 2 of the "You About to Lose Your Job" live video that we did, where I go over some of the resources, or you can get the resource guide that's available on my Beacons platform, the Black Travel and Culture Beacons platform. So you can get direct links to those resources. So if you want to investigate the free Coursera courses or the free Google courses or the free LinkedIn courses, um, there's clickable links for all of everything listed there, and those will be updated um at least once a month. Okay. Hey Zakia, welcome back. Hey Janice, welcome to the Gym Nation. Hey Kiki B and Christine R, good to see you. Yes, where is DL, child? I don't know. Yes, she would have been good to comment. Cybersecurity is probably the number one job that you can take anywhere in the world. China has 40 hackers per one hacker. Listen, and Russia. Let's talk about Russia. Like cyber, that's why I'm taking the courses, because quite honestly, I took coding. I think I mentioned this yesterday or the day before. It must have been the day before. I didn't enjoy it. I know how to design a website through coding. I don't plan to ever have to do that. I don't want to ever have to do that, right? But I know how to do it. Similarly with cybersecurity, I need to know what to look for. I need to know, two-factor. I think everyone on every account needs two-factor authentication. Make that part. That's part of my end of year 28-day accountability, is to go over all of my accounts, update the passwords, make sure two-factor authentication is on. That's the best we got right now. I mean, you can do face and finger. I rather two-factor authentication, just in case, God forbid, something happens to me. My loved ones know how to access my stuff. They don't need my fingerprint, So two-factor authentication, make sure you have that turned on. But I am taking a cybersecurity course. I'm starting next week, but I'm deciding which ones. And then I also can take online from my library as well. So I'm deciding which ones I want to take. But again, please get in that. I just restarted my data analysis certification program with Coursera yesterday. I'm 50% finished with entire program. Will be no shortage of need for data. So that's part of the part of the breakdown, like data entry and data analysis, excuse me. Data analysts are key areas that we all need. Now, it's one of the areas that we should be focused on to stay ready. I don't care if your job is saying, oh, you're good. I don't care if you feel that you're good. Did you guys hear about the Caitlin Clark fiasco? Caitlin Clark, let me tell you, this country is on some ish. This woman, Caitlin Clark, gave praise and acknowledgement to the Black women in the NBA that came before her. Child, these white people that lost their damn minds. She was forced to say this stuff. Oh, I used to be your fan. I'm not coming to see you no more. I was gonna buy your shirt for my daughter for Christmas. I'm not like, read what Megyn Kelly said about this woman, who all she did was give homage to the people who came before her that didn't get the recognition. Child, we are in a world where we don't know who is sitting next to us at work. We don't know who's sitting in HR. We don't know what they truly feel about us. And it's a nation divided. So go ahead and get these certifications while you can and stay. Yeah, I don't know if it's free for Harvard, and I don't know. I don't know. So I know sometimes they do applications and you could apply, and just pay attention to what the course says. You just did the same thing with loan signing. Your certification runs out at the end of this month. I'm not going to renew. Yeah, I'm going to renew my background check just simply because I think it's part of my stay ready for this new normal that is expected. But I'm not going to do loan signing. But I still do notary, from here to there. I primarily, so just so you know, I don't do notary as a real stream of income. I do notary to help people out who are in need. So there are so I'm a mobile notary. So and you know what? We'll get into that another time. I don't want to get off the tangent. But I help like seniors who, like, some of my clients are 94, can't leave the house, but they need to fill out certain documents. Or some of them may live someplace that it's not convenient for them to get to a notary. It's not easy to find notaries anymore, like in banks and stuff. Not every bank has a notary anymore, and that used to be a thing. So I try to help people out. You've done the big purge and it feels great. Yes, definitely makes you feel lighter. And so I have moving boxes. I went to Staples and got moving boxes. I don't need to show them to you, but I went and got moving boxes because that's the type of deep purge I'm talking. Like, just get it out here. Get it out here. If I could take it someplace where it's usable that same day, then fine. If not, it's out. Yeah, exactly. We keep everything too long. Travel light, yes, just saying. Hey, Jan Wig, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. Is it a requirement to have a college degree to get certified in cybersecurity? Heck no. A lot of non Americans get certified and get jobs in America. And when I say non Americans, they weren't born here. I'm sure you have to have some type of permit to get these jobs or citizenship. But yeah, no, you don't need a college degree at all. That's fine. This is the year. I shouldn't say year. This is the, what do you call it? The moment where college degrees are not necessarily necessary to get a job. As long as you have that's why I didn't say degree. I said, if you have the certification, if you have experience. So experience may trump certification, right? But it depends upon how old you are. So if you're older, some people will look at you like the experience you have can be antiquated. So you will need certifications to prove that you are keeping up with the times. And then there was something else, and I can't think of it. Kiki, You will also be highly sought after by everyday people, every type of business, every industry, governments around the world, the new people at the front lines of work. Listen, and so when I said in the beginning, not in the beginning, when we first started talking, because we were chit-chatting in the beginning, um, to think entrepreneurship as I went through all of these areas. Imagine if you got these certifications and acted as a consultant for small businesses in your local area. If you're not moving abroad and all of that, they don't have teams, right? You can package your service however your certification, whatever level of understanding you have based on your certifications and all of that. Imagine if you are um what was one of the other, I'm trying to think of an easy, we didn't get into details about education and training, but even if you're a skilled laborer, right? If you take some type of skilling, welding, whatever, you don't have to go work for a company. You can package your business to be an entrepreneur and independent. Now, you're going to have to market yourself. You're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to drum up clients. But entrepreneurship, so you don't have to worry about who may not like you because of the color of your skin, who may fire you because they think you're a DEI hire and all of that. Think entrepreneurship, but definitely first think getting qualified and certified in these areas. Yep, to analyze the data from this. When you apply for global entry, do I need to do my background check on my own? No, they do it. Yeah, you don't have to do that. They're not taking anything from you. They are going to do their own background check. Is the IBM IT support professional certificate a profession you can take anywhere? I don't know what you mean by anywhere. That's kind of vague and broad. I don't. Can you expand on that? Like when you say a profession you can take anywhere, I'm unclear on that. Oh, some. You can get a certification from Google or from almost any community college. The most important thing about IT is knowing how to do experience. And listen, you get experience by being on the job. Right? But if you don't have the understanding and the certifications to prove that at least you know what to do, everything, listen, with Google, with the interwebs, there is nothing that you can't put with Chat GBT and all these other AI platforms. There is nothing you can't figure out. Even if you get to a job and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't learn this in the certification program. Ciao. Go to YouTube University, go to Gemini, go to whatever the platform is, and we're going to have a whole separate that's going to be around the holiday time because I know some of y'all going, be on vacation. Everybody's not going to be able to join, but I want this to live at the top of the year. So I'm going to do a AI prompting, child. That is a certification you can get that everyone, I don't care your age, you need to know this stuff because this is where we are. It's not where we're going, it's where we are. Your large language models and understanding how to prompt those, you can actually create a business out of that. You can help a smaller business that doesn't have someone that knows how to do that. You can create that. You can be that and the consultant and get hired for uh uh a fee. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my train of thought. When they hire you, just like a lawyer, when you put up a fee at the beginning, y'all know what I'm talking about. um Tech is not something you can BS your way through. You either know how to do it or you don't. Yeah, you can kind of BS your way through it. I mean, you definitely need an understanding, but there's certain things that are going to be thrown at you in any job. I don't care if it's tech. I don't care if it's being a janitor. There's certain things that's going to come to you that you may not have been taught, but you're going to have to figure it out if you want to keep the job. And it's happened to me time and time again. And I've stayed, my last job I was at almost let's round it to 20, but more like 18, 18 years. And trust you me, I didn't know everything when I started. So there's things that you're going to have to learn along the way. But you definitely need to at least show that you have the basics. You can work remotely from anywhere in the world. Yes, LaRonda, you sure can. You have to pay taxes, but you can work remotely, especially if you have your own job. That's how most people make money that I've come across. Most of the Black expats, because you can't work in the country, you know, unless you have certain levels of clearance. So if a job, gets you signs off for you to work in that country, a corporation, excuse me, signs off for you. There was an emergency landing in JFK. So I didn't hear about that till just now. Um, so yeah, so basically a corporation can sign off for you to work in the country, or you can have citizenship, or you can have permanent residency. Yes, learning is an experience. Thank you, Crystal. If you're in here now, hit the like button. We're about to go into the breakdown of those other categories. So retainer, thank you. Listen, you see, I had a consultation call. I didn't drink my coffee. I ran to make some coffee. And it hasn't hit yet, but thank you so much, Cynthia and LaRonda. Oh, if the company allows you to, it depends upon, like, it's not easy to get those jobs um in IT working abroad. I know people who've had them, but it depends upon the company and what section of the business you're working in. Highly sensitive information, probably not. Okay, so let's get back into quickly the breakdown. So we talked about technology and cybersecurity. We talked about renewable energy and sustainability, healthcare and biotechnology. I don't remember if we talked about that. No. So telemedicine, but telemedicine has a back end. So always think what there's an umbrella category, and then there's things that fall underneath that umbrella. So biotech research, um, there's going to be probably more reduction of regulations depending on who takes that office. Listen, we see who his pick is to lead. um is it the Kennedy guy? And so with him being in charge, and his if he gets confirmed, so I don't even like to say that, but based on who he's picking, we see the type of people he wants in certain areas. And so the healthcare sector is going to continue. Listen, people are still going to get sick. People are still going to need healthcare. People are still going to age. People are still going to need um, facilities to go to, even with the cuts that with the Affordable Health Care Act that we're expecting. People are still going to need these services. And so anything that falls under these services, especially if it relates to technology, just like in financial, if it relates to technology, biotechnology, these are areas that will grow. Um, so with a higher demand for healthcare services, there will be job opportunities in such fields as biotech research, genomics. If you don't know what genomics is, we're going to talk about that as one of the growth categories. But yeah, we're going to talk about that in another live. Pharmaceutical production. There could also be demand for more health data analysis and healthcare technology specialists. There's that word again, data analyst, data analysis, data analyst. Think that. So again, data analyst certificates, training. And just because you get one certificate, don't stop there. Like, challenge yourself. If you spend 1 month getting one certificate, take the next month to advance that knowledge. But don't just stop with one certificate. The more educated you are in these areas, the more valuable you become in these areas. And then race becomes less of a factor. And that's the takeaway. Like, we need to stay ready so that we are competing, not based on they have to fill a quota, but we are competing because we have great qualifications and we can package it as such. So we also talked about skill trades. I'm going to combine skill trades and infrastructure based on the sense of time or for time's sake. But basically, investing in roads, bridges, and other public works create opportunities for skilled labor and tradespeople. So think plumbers, electricians, welders, construction managers. And these are going to be important because, he has a whole, what do you call it? Kind of like America First type of strategy. And so basically, rebuilding America is part of that. And so even if it's like if you think about, we're going to build the bridge, or not the bridge, the wall, we're going to build the wall. So think of things that can align with that. Now, this may not be very woman focused. Like, so if you're a Black woman, I don't know that these industries, unless we're talking like, again, you're doing your own business, you're becoming a plumber or some type of contracting that you can do, or even so if you watch things like HGTV, you can think of some things that could possibly fit under skilled trades. And if, like, these people don't need college degrees to do the things that they do on HGTV. So watch the Property Brothers, see what comes to mind. Areas that you could possibly, and all you need is a technical certificate. You don't need college degrees. And then after you get the technical certificate, you may have to do apprenticeship under people. I would recommend it. That's the only way you're going to really get hands-on. But again, that's not difficult to do if you're willing to do the work and put yourself out there. Law enforcement, public safety. We're going to combine those two. So again, law and order is the phrase of the next administration. And so what areas in law enforcement and public safety could resonate with you? So emerging technologies, right? Again, there's going to be areas in law enforcement where that cybersecurity, where that IT, that data analyst certificate can come to benefit you, right? Or put you ahead of the pack if you need to find a job. And it's a great way to know to know what's going on from the inside, right? To know when he's going to send the armed forces into local communities to deal with things. And so, listen, law enforcement is going to be, that's one area that I know will probably be addressed really quick from the time, he officially takes office. Agriculture and food security. We already hear about the tariffs and all of that stuff, right? So deregulating that industry, which includes farm subsidies, food production, and distribution, are all part of the plan, right? The plan that we're aware of, let's say that. So food security, didn't I just talk about this? Listen, whoever was here when I talked about the bird flu in the milk, I was here, or me, or raise your hand. They are going to basically try to get rid of certain FDA standards that will affect us. And so I don't want to project too much, because then it could come off. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, is what I'm saying. But why does this matter? If he continues to support domestic agriculture, roles in agriculture technology like automation in farming and supply chain management in food systems could be more lucrative for those interested in sustainability and food production. And so again, it's all of these areas that fall under the IT umbrella, which, again, includes anything from hacking our food supply system, right? Cloud computing, data analysis, and AI. Do you know a lot of these foods? Well, when we talk about the category, just um, Google Bill Gates and farming, or Bill Gates and food supply, or Bill Gates and Appeal, Apeel, like Apple, and you'll know what I'm talking about. These are billionaires that are making moves that are literally laying out the blueprint to what's going on and what's going to happen. Okay. Transportation and logistics. So if you think about um, Grump wanting to boost American manufacturing jobs, he talked about all of our jobs being sent out and outsourced to other countries that he wants to bring back. Um, then transportation and logistics is one of those. So jobs in um, like warehouse management, truck driving, logistics coordination, and supply chain optimization are areas that, again, a lot of these certificates will help make us more viable, more competitive, more valuable, and distinguish us from other people that don't have the same certifications. Like, you really want to stack the odds against you. And I say that a lot here. In your favor, excuse me. You really want to stack the odds in your favor to be ready for whatever. E-commerce comes under that as well. So you're talking about the movement of these goods from one place to another, that's logistics. So think of that when you're, you know, entertaining what type of certifications I'm going to possibly sign up for. Financial services. Now, if you haven't heard about fintech, listen, Bitcoin, us cash apping, us Zelling, us Venmoing, all of those things, right? The financial market is quite different than when we were young. Well, when I was young, I'll speak to myself. You went to the bank, you wrote a check, you got a money order, you got travel checks, but everything was tangible. In the financial services industry now, it's not. Which is why I urge you to make sure you print out all of your current assets before the end of this year. With this hacking stuff, with systems going down, you want to be able to stack the odds in your favor. If something happens, you can prove what is owed to you. You can prove what you owned. You don't want to rely. So many people have not got, they don't get paper statements anymore from my financial records. Now, my credit card statements, I don't need, right? But for my assets, I still get paper statements. I pay one bank $3 a month to make sure I get my paper statements, and they keep trying to get me to stop, and I keep telling them no. Um, so yeah, make sure you have hard copies of that. So the financial sector continues to thrive, particularly in areas of investment banking, financial planning, and insurance. And under Republican administrations, this is one industry that tends to soar, that tends to really do well, from the interest rates, everything, right? So where did I leave off? Hold on a second. There could be additional opportunities in financial services, particularly for those with expertise in digital finance, cryptocurrency, or financial technology, which is fintech. Now, cryptocurrency is now it's owned by banks. Banks own cryptocurrency. This is not a now far off thought. This is not a far off industry anymore. It's not wonky like I thought it was back in 2015, right? And so even though I own some cryptocurrency, if I would have invested, listen, if I would have invested $1,000, that would have been 5 coins. I would right now have $500,000. That $1,000 would have turned to over $500,000 in less than 10 years. Cryptocurrency is going nowhere. It is going nowhere. If you go to other countries, it's even more prevalent. So you go to Amsterdam. When I was in Amsterdam, most places you could pay with cryptocurrency. In Mexico, there are many places that you can pay with cryptocurrency. They have cryptocurrency cafes. Like, it is not going anywhere. So fintech is another area. Again, we talked about education and training. Let's just quickly talk about training for skilled trades or specific sectors like IT, healthcare, construction management might become more valuable, and it's expected to grow. So there could be a rise in trade schools or community colleges offering career focused programs versus the 4-year degree, right? Or the advanced degrees. So pay attention to education and training. Um, Again, with his push for American manufacturing, along with tax incentives for company bringing back jobs to the US, it can result in a boost in the manufacturing and construction sectors. Many Black Americans are predicted to find stable employment in skilled trades, including construction, welding, electrical work, thanks to the revived focus on infrastructure projects. And again, this is all projected, right? It's projected. It's not anything written in stone. It's still December. The new administration hasn't even come into office yet, but we want to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And so it basically says as more Black Americans seek alternatives to traditional 4-year degrees, vocational training, or apprenticeships in growing sectors could offer long-term job security. And so 4-year degrees are cost prohibitive for many, 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 many people. And then 4-year degrees aren't for everybody. Listen, Steve Jobs dropped out of college. Listen, created Apple. At the end of the day, everyone does not need a 4-year degree. Didn't Bill Gates also drop out of college? I get them all mixed up. But yeah, so those are the areas that are being deemed as future proof. That's a question mark, exclamation point, all of that, that future-proof industries that could thrive under this next administration's economic policies and political priorities. And so if you have a question, I'm coming back in to check them. Again, these are areas, and these are areas that I want us to at least research, at least share with friends or family members, your children, whoever, so that they can, stay ready. I know everyone's not going to take advantage of, these certification programs. I encourage older members that I come across, like our local libraries have specific training and education for senior citizens who are not technologically savvy, right? So if you're not good at using your phone and all you're doing is playing Candy Crush and calling people, let's try to up that so that at least we can do, have enough knowledge that if we need to research something, if we need to make a quick plan and you can't call anyone, but you still have Wi-Fi, let's just try to each one teach one. And so let's just go through any more questions and then we'll wrap it up. Child, we be in here having a good old time. Learning is experience. Exactly. And if you think these people that don't look like us get these certificates and then just act like they gotta, get a job, these resumes, especially now, all these young ones have Chat GPT writing it. They put in the requirements, they put in their name, and not just Chat GPT, but they have AI writing their resumes. And trust and believe. Yes, please, please, please hit the like button if you are in here right now. It's a way for other people to get this message eventually that may be interested. And also it's a way to say thank you. Can you work remote? We already talked about that. Retainer, yes, we talked about that. Okay, here we are. Is it true in the news telehealth will be not available to Medicare patients? I mean, nothing has changed yet. And that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine doctors being okay with that because that means that their workload, right? Their inpatient workload is going to be through the roof because what are you saying? What are you saying? Like you can't do a telehealth, but you can do a inpatient visit? I can't see doctors being okay with that. Telehealth has helped them out tremendously. And so with technology moving more and more in that direction, I can't imagine that being pushed through 100%. But then again, who knows? Who knows what can happen? Um, when you travel, what are your most common job industries that other people are doing while traveling? Digital nomad. So rather they have brand partnerships where they create content, whether they have some of these people are teachers, right? So they get the certifications to teach outside of the US. That probably was like the number one as far as a regular income, a guaranteed income industry. But if it's not teaching, it's creatives or being digital nomads. There are some people that work remotely from an American company internationally, but those are not. I've met more teachers than digital nomads, and then people who have a steady gig, a 9 to 5, or so to speak, in another country. So those would be the top three. I think if I'm considered a SME in cybersecurity, that can be one of the streams of income I can take abroad with me. Um, yeah. I mean, definitely. Again, there are so many certifications that, especially if you position yourself as a consultant and you charge retainers, you can do whatever you want from really wherever you want, as long as it's within the realms of um, sharing with your client. Like, meaning like if it's super sensitive information and you are pitching clients and you're working outside of the US, you need to do full disclosure with that. Okay, so you waved your hand. You're saying, what was the daggone question? I know what the question was. Oh my gosh. I said, let me know if you, child, somebody will remind me. Hey, Cynthia. It was me, and I don't want to come off like you're wearing a tinfoil hat. Bill Gates just made a deal with Kenya when it comes to land and growing food. Listen, child. Don't think the Amazon burnt down for no reason. Like they're, and it's not all burnt because it's massive, but don't think we are not in a place of needing to stay ready. You're taking classes with fintech, very good, not free, but worth it. Exactly, exactly. Listen, get that fireproof. So I got the fireproof stuff already, but it's still in a box because I need to finish getting my paperwork together. I have like a stack of paper here. I was printing so much. I have two printers. I was printing so much. If you were a loan signing agent, like printing is a necessary part of the job. So I have a black and white brother, and I have as part of my setup, and then I have a HP color printer. And so yeah, I've been printing, and so as soon as I get everything printed, and I bought a 3-hole binder punch, and so get that fireproof. Child, yeah, listen, I know people who bought it and sold it when it was like in the 20s. Like they still profited a lot, right? But for less than 10 years later, it to be over $100,000. Whoo, child. But if what God has for me is for me, that just wasn't like, I'm not bad at the profit. Well, it's not profit because I haven't sold it, but the direction that my portfolio is going in when it comes to, but everything that goes up comes down. That's the other thing about investing and trading. So until you sell it, it is nothing but numbers on a piece of paper. This is really good topic since the week, and I will be working with a career coach to explore new career opportunities. Yes, Moni, congratulations. You're in the vestibule. This looks like the last comment. Telehealth will be available for rural areas like before. We just had a speaker from my local AAPC chapter cover changes for 2025, and she mentioned these telehealth changes. Yeah. So it looks like what you're saying is that's not changing and they're not taking that away. I can't imagine that again. And I know you're close to the industry. So Casper knows. Casper 330 knows. So I'm assuming that you're saying there are no changes of them pulling, you haven't heard of changes of them pulling back telehealth for Medicare patients. Um so yeah, so I can't, again, I'm not saying there's not going to be some restrictions added to health, just seeing doctors overall, because I believe that's going to happen. They really want to revamp what, healthcare looks like in this country. But telehealth is an area where I I think, and if I was guessing, that they're going to put more emphasis on because it's cost um the costs are so low compared to having to bill a doctor, going in, and a doctor can see more people through telehealth easier. Right now, I don't know if it's the best form of healthcare, especially if it's the only form of healthcare that you get besides an annual blood test. But yeah, I can't imagine. And it's weird because I know it's ramped up here. Like, I've had friends who every time I talk to them, they're like, "Oh, I just got I just finished the doctor's appointment." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Where are you?" "Oh, no, I'm home." And they just finished. I don't do telehealth and haven't had to do telehealth yet. I still go in to see all of my doctors, but yeah. Do you think they can successfully get rid of Social Security and they could phase out? Listen, anything is possible in this country, right? Um Yeah, anything is possible in this country. And I know it's they're trying to appease the rich by taking from the poor or taking from, and when I say poor, anyone who doesn't fit in that top tier, I'll give it 10% of net worth individuals. And so that's something we need to look out for. They've been talking about ending Social Security since I was in my 20s, I want to say. And people have always said, well, when my kids get a certain age, they won't have it. I'm lucky I did. So, Casper, it will be available for rural areas. If you're not in a rural area, oh, you may not have telehealth services available to you. That's interesting. I haven't heard that here in New York, but again, let's see. I'm going to do a quick health 2025. Okay, so basically they're saying oh, so there's certain codes that are going away. That's what it is. So it looks like telehealth in 2025, there's certain things that will be covered, but it also says Congress can change everything. So at the end of the day, what's happening right now in telehealth, we're still under a democratic, governed country. And so in 2025, that all changes. So basically, it says certain behavior and mental health services will be permanently offered under telehealth for Medicare patients beginning January 1, 2025. And then there's certain codes that will go away. Uh, CM, the Center for Medicare Services will continue to allow physicians to list their practices address rather than their home address when performing Medicare services via telehealth. Um, it doesn't, so I don't know what these codes are, so I'm not going to give them to you, but they're giving codes that will be affected, and it's not saying exactly what the codes are. And I'm looking at um, aapc.com website. And so, yeah, so basically what they're saying is that CMS, which is the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, recently issued its 2025 physician's fee schedule, blah, 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 extending and making permanent certain telehealth flexibilities within its authority. So there's certain things that will be extended and certain things that will be affected. But again, who's going to be the head of CMS come, January? Well, not January because the confirmations happen later, but so all of these final rules are not really final rules. They're final rules for today, but we are under a oligarchy right now, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, okay. Wow. How ironic. Um CMS changes for 2025. Yes. So we'll see what happens. One last question, Kim. Have you seen these drones that people, so I addressed that a little earlier. I don't look up to look for them. I'm fine believing that they're there. Enough people have said they've seen them. I've seen enough videos across my timelines and all of that. And so no, I have not looked up to see them. But they are all around New York, New Jersey, and many other places. And so, and do we know that they're drones, right? That's what they're being labeled. We're so quick to label things. They don't know that they're drones because they have not been able to intercept them. They're saying that they're telling us or they're labeling them as drones. And so we don't know what they are. Again, like I said, I think it's quite interesting that as sophisticated as our Defense Department is, our federal security departments are, that no one is able to share with the general public what they think is going on. Oh, we don't, the only thing they're saying is they don't have any knowledge of it being like any type of attacks. The stories that I've heard from different parts of the country and the places that they are hovering over, and it's interesting, it's curious, and it's a little dark, right? And so if you I have to live day by day, just, don't, it's above me, right? Certain things I don't try to make mental space for just simply because it is so out of my control. It is so out of anything that I can take action to change that, or to share with you guys. Like, I just try to not think about those things because there's so much going on in this world that we are not privy to. There's so much that we probably will never hear about. And that's why they have documents that can't be open for like 75 to 100 years, because there are things that happen that if they told us about, there'd be mass confusion, mayhem. the streets will be in terror and people won't produce and make money for the rich people. And so, yeah, so I don't look up. I don't plan to look up. I do plan to, try to keep abreast of any recent news stories, but no. So anyway, so do me a favor, hit the like button before you guys head out. Tomorrow we are talking about, I definitely don't want to forget to let you know. Tomorrow, like I said, we're going to start early in the morning. I do have plans tomorrow, so we're going to start about 8:50 a.m. and we'll be done before 10 o'clock, definitely. But we are going to talk about it's going to be a bumpy road, and we're going to talk about why the Stay Ready movement is so important based on words that have come out of the mouths of people like Stephen Miller, right? Recently, this week, we're going to talk about and hear the words from the Thurgood Marshall Legal Defense Fund attorneys. We're going to hear the words from the experts, right? The people who know what the plan is, know what the plan is for Black people or Black and Brown people, because again, what Stephen Miller just came out and said, they're rounding up Central Americans, South Americans, Africans, Muslims, yada, yada, yada. Listen, one of my best friends growing up is Dominican. When I first met her, I had no idea. Her parents spoke fluent Spanish, never taught their kids Spanish. Didn't want that. They wanted them to assimilate. So when we met in school, I thought we looked alike. The only difference was her hair was thick too, but it was just like long, like super long. But it was like, if you want to give it a number, it was in the 4AB area, right? And so our skin complexion the exact same. We go out, people would be like, "Oh, are you guys sisters?" All of that. She's Dominican. So if they rounding up Dominicans, who's to say that I'm walking down the street, somebody may not just snatch me? So again, at the end of the day, this is not to instill fear, it's to instill a sense of urgency to just make sure that we have our ducks in a row. And so with that being said, I don't think there's any other questions. I will see you tomorrow as we listen. We hear the words from the experts who are involved day to day with this topic. And oh goodness, I know 8:50 again. I was going to start at 9, but I kind of want to just start to do the chit chatting at 8:50, and then we'll get into the topic at 9 so we can be done by 10. And then I have some errands to run. I have a brunch, and then a lunch brunch. And then I have to, do some Saturday things. And then part of that is also my 7-day purge strategy, right? And so challenge, I mean. And so I will be purging probably soon after we get off. I'll take 2 hours to me and Luther, or me and Donnie, or me and Donnie Hathaway, or me and Frankie Beverly. The last thing, I will be purging for 2 hours, and then I have to start getting ready for the lunch brunch. And so anyway, thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow. And then Sunday, it will be Sunday evening, probably 7 o'clock again, but I will confirm that as well. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Hit the like button on your way out, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:50 a.m. Have a good day, everyone. Happy Friday the 13th. That's a beautiful day. Don't let nobody tell you different. Mindset matters. Take care.